Humanities 115 Critical Thinking for the fall semester 2024. I'm Sandy Oliver, Mrs. Oliver. I'm going to be your instructor for this particular section, and I'm going to walk through our normal first day stuff. So if you don't have your syllabus printed out or available on your device, pause me and go do that and get started on this. Okay, so Humanities 115 is
this particular section is online all the time. So everything we do is going to be done online. I'm going to, you'll have videos for the chapters and for the papers and for the study guides and for this first day stuff. And then everything you turn in is also going to be on Blackboard. Now, I do have a caveat. If Blackboard gives you trouble, excuse me, it won't let you post something for some reason, make sure it's the right format and then send it to me via email. That's always okay. Okay, so this is, again, Humanities 115. We are working in an e-text, and so everything you have, everything you need for the course is in the course already, so that's lovely. I'm Sandy Dolan Oliver. I'm your instructor, and I'm an adjunct, which means I'm a part-time instructor for JCC, and so I have an office, and I don't have an office phone, but I do have email that I check all the time. So if you need to get a hold of me, send me an email. I get back to you usually the same day, but you know, give me 24 hours kind of thing. And then on the weekends, I check in on Saturday, and then I don't check again until Monday usually. Sunday is my holy day, and I try really hard not to work on that day. So let me walk through. I'm going to start with page 1, normal stuff. This is a 3-credit course, which means you get 3 credits when you're done. If you pass, most people pass. So academic hours are 50 minutes, and so we get a 10-minute break, you know, each hour kind of thing. Just know that as an online student, you are required to do certain things on time. My deadlines are usually Thursday at midnight, 11:59 p.m. on Thursday, and that is so that nobody thinks they have to work on their holy day. I know that in the United States especially, we have 3 different holy days for the major religions, and if your holy day is Friday or Saturday or Sunday, take your day off, okay? But that's kind of how I work things. Our census date, which is the date that you have to have posted your enrollment verification quiz, or you get dropped from the class, as a never attended, is August 26th. The last day for you to process a withdrawal is October 30th, and so, you know, we'll get more into that as we get to the attendance policy, okay? I try to make my class as welcoming and as, well, as welcoming as I possibly can. I'm on here a lot with videos. Some of them are in a classroom setting, which I can write on the board because I like to write on the board. Some of them are here in my home office, and we just go with what we can best accomplish. The only prerequisites for this class is that you're ready for English 111. So basically, if you needed to take remedial or transition English, you've finished that. That's it. Our textbook is an e-text, but it's The Power of Critical Thinking by Dr. Lewis Vaughn. It's a 2022 edition, 7th edition, and so we have that online. There's also a companion site, and that's on page 2 at the top, oup.com/us/Vaughn. And they have a lot of helps there, things similar to Quizlet and summaries, and all kinds of things in there to help you out. Make sure that you are checking your JCC email regularly. That's the only way we can communicate, so please make sure that you know how to get in there and check it and all of that. The course grading details, okay, we will write 3 papers. They're about 3 pages each. They're 10%, and we'll have 4 exams. They're 10% each, so that's 70% of your grade is what we consider high stakes. The other 30%, reading logs is 10%, and homework and such is 20%. It's 15% for the general work, 5% for discussion board. On our Blackboard page, you will have the My Grades link. And in that My Grades link, you have one that says current Big B, Little B Blackboard grade. It keeps track as you go along, and it is very close to correct, as long as you're caught up. If you get behind, it will be a bit more optimistic than you should be. Use your critical thinking skills. You cannot still have 100% in the class if you haven't done the major assignments. Okay? So, we'll get there. If you are confused or you need a grade check for whatever reason, just send me an email. I'm happy to do the math for you. Okay? Our normal course grading, you have to have a 90.0 to get an A. 89 is a B. Okay? You can argue with me all you want on that. That's how it works. I will do my best to post your grades and feedback within a week of the due date, as long as you had them in on time, and often even if you didn't have them in on time. I try to be caught up at the end of each day. Doesn't always happen, but that's my goal. And so if I have feedback for you, in that My Grade section, your score will be underlined, like a little hyperlink. Click on that, and that'll give you my feedback, okay, whatever that feedback happened to be. Sometimes it's just, yay, or good job. Other times it's a note about, okay, do it this way, not this way, or something like that. So, anyway, make sure that you are giving yourself enough time to read through the chapters and take notes and watch the videos and take notes. One of the things that I assign on a weekly basis or chapter basis, is a reading log. And the reading log is your notes, summary, outline, however you want to approach it, whatever is most useful for you for that chapter or for that section of a chapter in some of the cases. It's difficult to monitor, so I'm not your babysitter. I want you to do the work. I want you to learn stuff. I want you to have a good time. But most of all, I want you to learn stuff. And so whatever that means for you, make sure that you're spending the time that you need to do to get there. One of the things that we have to talk about is the AI statement. Okay, on page 3, it says about AI. So the long and short is, I know they're out there. I know students like to use them. But for this class, don't. Okay? You are not allowed to use AI for any portion of your work for this class. If you do use it, and I figured that out, which it's not really all that hard, that's not a challenge though. It's the same as plagiarism. So it's academic dishonesty, it's not your work, and so that's my on this, okay? And again, we're all still figuring this stuff out, but for now, no. I do take late work, and I have, so I don't give extra credit assignments, but I do give extra credit for extra work. And so if your assignment is late, it can't have extra credit. If you know your work is going to be late, something in your life blows up the day before things are due, okay, send me an email, ask for an extension, and I will 99 times out of 100 give it to you, okay? Everybody has other things going on in their life besides school, and sometimes school loses. School can't lose all the time, okay? You're in classes, you have responsibilities, do your best to meet them. But if you, again, if you run into trouble, send me an email. I'm more than happy to work out things with you, okay? Page 4 is best practices for learning, student responsibilities, course communication, that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to do a couple little things here. One is, the workload is such that some students take longer than others, of course. If you're a slower reader, or if you take copious notes, it might take you a little longer than somebody else. That's okay. I want this to be useful for you, and I want this to be your work. So whatever it takes, right? Now, some weeks we're all head down and running. Other weeks you've got a little bit of breathing time, which is great. You have weekly due dates, okay, for attendance. You have to turn in at least one of the assignments that's due for that week, in order to get your attendance, okay? If you get behind, by all means, catch up, right? But make sure that you're doing something that week that is posted for that week. Easiest way is the discussion board, okay? Because you don't necessarily have to have all your work caught up in order to do that. And that gives you your attendance and such. I tell my students, okay, so this is a 3-credit class. Your first 3 hours in this class belong to me. If you think about what we would be doing in a seated class, okay, going over material, checking notes on things, talking about what we've read, that kind of stuff. Watch the video and do the reading and such. That's your first 3 hours. You have homework, okay? You have things to do. You have practice sections. You have drafting to do. You have, homework assignments. So keep that in mind. There is another video called the weekly work video that will help you with those particular assignments. I highly encourage you to watch that. That way you have a little bit more background in it before you can get started. I do include some student samples in under major course information, major assignments on our Blackboard page. There is a thing in there for reading logs, and some for chapter homework, and some for the discussion boards. All the papers have something like that. All the tests have something like that. So, and again, if you have questions, ask. Okay. Part of this online situation is that you have to email me. Okay. So when you email me, there are certain things that you should know. One, address me as Mrs. Oliver. Okay, like we would in class. And in your subject line, put your section of the course. So HUM 115, IO1, IO2, IO5, whatever your section number is. Okay, put that in the subject line. Now you can put other things in the subject line too, but that needs to be there. That helps me locate where you are in my system. Okay. This semester I have over 100 students, and about 150 students actually. And so knowing at the drop of a hat that Sally Blake is over here in, Humanities 115 IO2. My brain doesn't work that way. So help me out, okay? That way I can get back to you and understand, make sure that I'm giving you the right information. So I will respond to emails usually within 24 hours, Monday through Friday. I do check in usually once on Saturday. And then again, I try really hard not to work on Sunday. I do other things on Sunday. And so that's kind of how it works. Now, if you run into trouble with anything and you need to talk to me, then by all means, send me an email. We'll set something up. Okay? Our attendance policy is on page 5, and there's also a click-through for that. You need to make sure you take the enrollment verification quiz very early on, preferably today. Get that out of the way. And then it has to be done before the 10% spot, which is, Monday, August 26th. Okay? The last day for you to drop is October 30th. Our classes end on December 12th at noon, and then my grades are due the next day. So, 150 grades. Anyway, if you miss more than 2 weeks in the course, I'm supposed to drop you. Okay, so keep me in the loop. Don't just fall off the face of the earth for 3 weeks and come back and say, oh, sorry. No. Okay, you're big people. Keep me in the loop. If something happens, you get sick. Like I'm recovering from COVID. My husband came home from a conference and he had it. So, 3 days later, here I am. And it's a lot. There's a lot of things I'm like, oh my. So, if you're ill, if, you have to take care of your parents or your kids or whatever because they're ill, let me know. Keep me in the loop, and I'm more than happy to make arrangements with you for different things and help you get back on track. But I can't help you if you don't let me. Okay. We have a couple of helps and then a couple of programs I need to tell you about. One is the Jaguar Writing Portal. Any class is eligible for them to look at a paper. Our class, English class, psychology, whatever. And it's a 24/7 tutoring. Make sure, though, they do have a 48-hour turnaround. Now, sometimes they're really quick, but they could be as long as 48 hours. So make sure that if you're trying to get help that way, that you're doing it early enough that it's actually going to work for you. Okay? Now, we also have the Tutoring Center, which is not just for papers, it's for a little bit of everything. They can help you with papers, of course, but they can also help you with study systems and all that kind of fun stuff. We have 2 other programs that help students identify problems and issues in their class with their classes. One is the SAGE. SAGE is the Student Alert and Group Events. Okay, so basically it's a progress report. A couple times a semester, they'll send out a list to us that we need to go in and make progress reports. And sometimes, well, we get a list of folks that we have to, whether you're doing great or not. And then others, if you're not on the list, but you're not doing well in class, or you've asked me for help in certain areas, that's where that goes through as well. And then they put together emails and they help people get connected to different kinds of resources that you might not have known about on campus. And in that line, we also have the Pace Yourself is the QEP, Quality Enhancement Plan. Every 5 years, we get a new one of these, okay? And this one is aimed at increasing student progression and retention, which is a good thing. We want you to stay. We want you to get your degree. And so sometimes all that needs from us is to show you where to get help, okay? And you'd be amazed at how much help you can get on campus for free, okay? If you run into problems with food security or housing security or name something, you have an interview for a job, but you've been a student and you don't have a suit or whatever the proper attire is, they can help you with that. There's all kinds of cool stuff. So the QEP and the SAGE alerts are focused on helping students get the resources they need to be able to stay in school. Okay? And so if those things pop up, don't think that it's a bad thing. This is stuff that is already included in your tuition and all that. And we have numerous grants going on to pay for things. And so take advantage of what you can. Use what you need, that kind of thing. On page 7, of your syllabus, we have this section called Student Concerns. If something comes up, say I've said something out of hand, or I've said, you think I'm not being fair, or I've offended you, okay? Come to me first. That's what this means, faculty first. Come to me first and say, Miss Oliver, you really dropped the ball on this. Okay, I make mistakes. I have no problem owning up to my mistakes, apologizing, asking for forgiveness. That's totally part of my DNA. So if we can't figure it out, then we go to my director, who is Elizabeth Baker, and she has an office over in Smith. And she's a very cut to the chase kind of person. She figures things out, gets things going. But if the three of us can't figure things out, then we have to go to our AVP, Associate Vice President. She's our fearless leader here in University Studies, Dr. Cooper, and what she says goes. Okay. But hopefully we won't ever have to do that. I appreciate that you guys know that I am approachable, that I want to do well for you, I want to do well with you, I want you to do well, all those good things. And I want us to have a good class, and I want you to have a good experience, and learn a lot, and all that. So I will do my best to not offend you, but sometimes it happens. And we're all learning how to talk to each other, how to be better about all of this communication, and sometimes I still mess up. Sometimes you still mess up. It's okay. We'll figure it out. As long as everybody comes to this with a spirit of, okay, we're learners, and we're going to do our best to be kind to each other and to be respectful and all of that. But if and when we mess up, we will figure it out and get everything all put back together happy. Okay. There are a couple of links there about regulations and expectations, college resources, another source for college resources. And then I have the course content schedule. So I have this a couple different ways because I want you to be able to look at it in a way that makes sense to you. And so the schedule that's here is which week, what's due, and then the actual due date, okay? And keep in mind, this is by 11:59 p.m., okay? Whatever that day is. Most of the time, it's Thursday, 11:59 p.m. A couple of places, because either we're not in class on Thursday, school is not in session on Thursday, or like this first week, we start on Thursday. I don't want to have things due the same day, so Friday it is. But we have a couple other places where, like in week 9, our due date is Wednesday, October 9th, because the 10th and 11th is fall break. Okay. And then the week of Thanksgiving, let's see, which is week 16. Tuesday is our deadline because Thanksgiving holiday is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then our last deadline is Thursday, December 12th, but it's at noon. It's at noon, okay? That's so I can get my grades in on time. So, you know. The other thing I have here is when I say the deadline number 4, deadline number 3, this is for a unit deadline. Okay, so we have a test. The next week, everything from that unit is due, late work, makeup work, whatever, so that we can move on to the next and be clear. Everything will get zeros after that. So that's how that works. So anyway, if you have questions, let me know. You know, you have my email. I'm more than happy to help you out with things and clarify if I need to. So have a great day. Let all this run around in your head for a couple days and get things together. But anyway, I hope you do have a great day. I hope you have a great weekend, and we can all meet this head down and running. Okay? Thanks. Bye.